This presentation was developed for Recent Innovation in Electrical Electronic and Communication Engineer Conference 2018. A special thanks for all colleagues, students, relatives, our conference team, which has collaborated with this project. This presentation was divided with the following subjects: about me, a brief about the author and his projects, introduction, an abstract about the project, keywords and studies objectives, literature review, presents the literature used during the studies, methods and materials, explain the methods and materials used for the project's development, results and discussion, a discussion about the results obtained with the project, and conclusion, conclusion about the studies and application. The next step will be presented information about the author. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. I will talk about my degree, studies, and projects involved in my life. My name is Dr. Antônio Carlos Bento from São Paulo, Brazil. I work with academic resources involving computing, information intelligent systems, robotics, networks, software engineer, health, and informatics. If you need to contact me, please use the following mail, acb01@hotmail.com. Thank you. I am Doctor in Cognitive Environment and Digital Design by Pontifícia Universidade Católica of São Paulo, Brazil. I am Master in Information System by Osasco University. I have Master Business and Administration degree in System and Information by Universidade of São Paulo. I have studies about computing, digital design, artificial intelligence, information intelligent systems, robotics, automation, wireless BAN network, educational systems. I am working about the projects involving network, IoT, robotic, systems, and health. The our team is composed by Oswaldo Júlio Santos Monteiro, Gabriel Alexandre Vieira, Luiz Henrique Forquim Sanches. They are science and computer students from University 9 de Julho, from São Paulo, Brazil. In the next step, I will make an introduction about the project. The subject of this project involved the theme IPv4 versus IPv6, results of a study about the use of Internet addresses. Abstract. This paper presents the results of a study on computer networks using the exploratory resource methodology, comparing scientific articles on computer networks, specifically on the scarcity of IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4, addresses. Based on these sources on the subjecting articles published by Nick.br, Search.br, and Registro.br, etc. In 1992, 24% of IP addresses were already located. In 2005, this number surpassed 2 billion IPs, and in 2010, it was already located around 3 billions. By 2014, there were only 110 million available IPs. Based on these studies, this project was developed to support the thesis that IPv4 will no longer be used as of 2019. The keywords used during the studies involves the following phrase: IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4, the most used protocol for communication with different devices around the world. IPv6, a new version of Internet Protocol. It was created for replace the actual version 4, which has no more addresses available. Network, an infrastructure where it is possible to access devices connected, transferring data during the communication. Internet, a kind of network which is possible to access remotely devices around the world. Protocol, a kind of service or language which is possible to create a communication with the device. Decrease. Analyzing the IPv4 protocol, it's possible to identify a decrease with the address available, which is necessary the migration for the IPv6. Objectives. The main objective of this study is develop a survey about the actual use of protocols IPv4 and IPv6, analyzing the main references available in the market and to discuss the evolution of how the markets are prepared for this change. The literature review will be presented in the next step. For studies were used the bibliography related to Internet. For the Internet studies were used bibliography about the Explorer base and the Latin America base for electronic base, where are available a large content about electronics and electrical studies developed by students and researchers. This is the main base for the studies used for this project. IPv4, material about the actual situation on the use of Internet and your protocols, where studied technical materials, scientific and documents which were possible make an evaluation for discussion about the theme. The IPv4 is in use for a long time in the market in general. IPv6. The studies about the IPv6 involves documental and technical materials which are demonstrate graphics and the evolution about the actual use of IPv6 in the market, considering the actual scene with the use of IPv4. Methods and materials. The method used during this project involved the following steps. Understand the problem. The first step is identify the problem in any situation. The problem was classified as a necessity to migrate from IPv4 to IPv6 protocol. Literature review. After understanding the problem, as literature review is necessary for understanding the actual studies and proposals and the opportunities applied in the same situation. Look for possible solutions. After and during the literature reviews, was possible to identify what exists in the market and in the scientific community about the theme of study, where studied materials involving the problem. Understanding the actual situation. After the studies, was possible to understand the actual situation in the market, comparing the information obtained with the studies about the documents and technical materials. Discussion about the situation. After understanding the actual situation, was possible to discuss about the results, showing graphics and information which point for the future activity involving the theme. With materials were used the Internet, were used as reference the Internet for collecting enough information about the theme. Were used books as scientific materials, manuals, and technical documents. E3E Explorer base. The E3Z Explorer base, as the E3Z Latin America base, were used as reference for the content, considering the keywords used for this project research. Technical materials. The technical materials were used as base for reference, considering contents about the actual use of IPv4 and the migration needs for the IPv6 protocol. The next steps will be present the results and discussions about the project. This graphic shows the representation of IPv4 data located per year focused on 1992 by Ricardo Patera, Nick.br. 1% of the population had internet access. 72% of the IP address was still free, and the amount of IPs used was already close to 1 billion. This graphic shows the representation of IPv4 data located per year focused on 2010 by Ricardo Patara, Nick.br. In 2010, they already exceeded the 3 billion mark. the number of IP address used. This graphic shows the representation of IPv4 data located per year focused on 2014 by Ricardo Patera, Nick.br. And finally, in 2014, there were only 110 million IP addresses remaining. The data maintenance of this study showed the size of combination possible by IPv4, number of IPs, and give a glimpse of what this protocol is, its strengths, which were the organization made through the protocol TCP/IP and the expansion of the network, which allowed for a much larger number of computer networks that could be imagined at the time it was made. Although this number was really great for their time, it became small due to the proportion the internet took and the most exponential increase of users for billions of IP addresses were not enough. Looking at the graphs, it was possible to see how the use of internet grew and consequently the depletion of IPv4. In 1992, only 1% of the world's population had internet access. 2002, percent of IPv4 addresses were not yet used. In 2005, more than 2 billion IP addresses were already used. The project of the surveys show here that the growth of IP distribution was very high between 1992 and 2005, number more than 1 billion. From 2005 to 2010, the number of IPs already exceeded 3 billion, and the growth was higher than in previous 15 years. In the next steps, we will present the conclusion about the project. As conclusion, we have, considering the rapid advance of the resources used in the Internet, this relevance also involves the use in autonomous automobiles between electric and private vehicles that currently are already using Internet resources such as GPS. This equipment is particularly common in almost all vehicles available in the market today. The great collaboration of the increase of connected device is a ease of communication and send of information in almost instantaneous way. The exaggeration in the content of information is also harmful. The creation of the new technologies, such as 3G, 4G, and 5G, provide the development of a cellular device with a high capacity and speed of communication. This contribution to the increased use of resources available on the Internet, as well as ease of access in different locations with different devices improving portability. Hopefully the results of this research will be of great use to everyone who intends to understand about the subject, about the scarcity of IPv4, that people can through this work understand the reasons for the shortage and understand why the migration from IPv4 to IPv6. In the next steps will be available the reference used during the project. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, please send me an email acb01@hotmail.com.